The Abolish movement. Jim Crow, Lord Supreme. So what we on today, brother?
Well, man, we've done a lot of taking it back to Africa. We still there, you know. We ain't leaving there in our hearts and minds. That's where we come from.
Africa's in us, man.
That's it. We ain't African Americans. We Africans in America.
Word.
Don't get it fucked up.
You hear this, my people? We Africans in America.
Man.
Well, before we can get to that, Africa is in us.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying?
Do not be ashamed. I mean, that was the trick. You know, they wanted us to, whether it was the old Tarzan movies, how Africa's portrayed as just a bunch of savages and one white man can wipe out a whole tribe and control all the elephants and rhinos in Africa. Like every time Africa is portrayed on TV, oh, the AIDS virus, Ebola, nothing positive, blood diamonds, you ain't hear not one good thing. So next thing you know, the sneak attack is, you're a black person of African descent here in America hearing that. Next thing you know, you ain't got no good positive feelings about Africa. But that's the root of the tree. If you hate the root of the tree, how you gonna have good positive feelings about the tree, which is you? You hate, you understand what I'm saying? So you hate Africa, you hating yourself. That is part of the sneak attack. So don't fall for that. Understand, that's where you come from. Be proud of that. They ain't telling you about all the beautiful stuff, man.
Oh,
you know,
definitely
this
not.
This is a smear campaign, for real. And it's strategically done to make you hate yourself, black people, and want to assimilate and imitate and integrate with the fool who done ran the smear campaign against your daggone ancestors in your homeland. You know, I see it for what it is. I understand why it's doing it, but I ain't going for it, man. I love African people. I love myself, and hopefully before I die, I get some ends together and actually go there to the motherland and step foot on that soil. You know, if I get a passport, it'll be for that purpose.
Well, you know, it's that's evidence that life started there.
That's it.
In the motherland.
That's it. You know, if we're going to tell the truth, which is all we're doing with this movement, then let the truth be told like it just was. So since we in that mindset, we're going to also visit some other people who ain't of European descent. We're going to give our Asian brothers a little nod today and come with some words of wisdom from one of their ancient texts, Hagakure, about the samurai, the codes,
so
ways to live your life.
Hey, brother, so before we get to that, the first samurai was a black man.
We got a lot of firsts, man.
Of course.
But they trying to make it seem like we coming in last in every endeavor.
Nah,
more misinformation than lies.
The first samurai was an African man. Just wanted to share that with everybody. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we brought martial arts, you know, and the sciences of, you know, healing our bodies and utilizing our chakras. You know what I'm saying? We brought that, you know, as we civilize, you know, Asia, and, you know, further down the line, you know, the people, you know, kept that, you know, those sciences and teachings preserved. So when you see ninjas and you see, you know, movies of ninjas and movies of the samurai, and when they doing ninja magic, stuff like that, you know, that those sciences was preserved, but they were started by us. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we brought that, you know, to that part of the world. You know, that comes from us.
And out of respect, please, my brothers and sisters from Latin America, we're gonna get around to you. We definitely gonna get around to you. All the, you know, non-whites, non-Europeans. You know, the Christianity and the European train of thought and way of life and style of doing things. We really not here to glamorize that. You know, we're here to make the people who need the uplift, the people who need to know their true selves, all the beautiful things that they've done past, the things they're doing now, and what they're capable of in the future. You know, that's what this is about. It's to counterattack all the negative shit that you're getting from the other side, you know. You really need to know this. It's going to help you go forward.
So Jim Crow. So what is that book you holding?
This is Hagakure,
Hagakure,
the Book of the Samurai.
Book of the Samurai.
Ancient text, brother.
And to let all our listeners and the audience know, me, I'm Lord Supreme. You know what I'm saying, and I practice martial arts, and I practice the Okinawan style karate, which is called Shorin-ryu, and to the backdrop of that, the people that lived there in the villages back then, when the people was going against the samurai, the people had to hide hide them learning how to fight against the samurai, or they would have got killed. So, yeah, this is real. So this, there's books on samurais, and how they live, the wisdom, you know what I'm saying, and their thoughts and their philosophy. So, the brother Jim Crow, he's gonna break it down for y'all.
That's it. Just gonna read a couple little short passages from the book, and this is just a small amount of the text. I mean, so many volumes. I guess it's just like the Bible that you get in your hands in church on Sunday if you're attending. I'm not. But that ain't the whole thing, Probably some of it is just names and dates and places that the guy who edited the book didn't even want to put in there. But if you could really get your hands on the whole thing and go through it for yourself, maybe there's a little bit more information. But this is, in this man's opinion, this is the key elements of the text. And there is a lot of good stuff in here. So check this out. It is a good viewpoint to see the world as a dream. When you have something like a nightmare, you will wake up and tell yourself that it was only a dream. It is said that the world we live in is not a bit different from this. And the second thing I want to read, second and final, people with intelligence will use it to fashion things, both true and false, and will try to push through whatever they want with their clever reasoning. This is injury from intelligence. Nothing you do will have effect if you do not use truth. I like to repeat that last line.
Yeah, repeat that.
Nothing you do will have effect if you do not use truth.
That's peace.
That's it. So, I mean, a lie will get you a little while down the path, I guess. But the truth is everlasting, man.
Everlasting.
The dust will rise again.
The truth is born with 490-degree right and exact angles to show proof that the truth is the square of all unrighteousness.
That's it. Hey, you can fool some of the people some of the time, etc., etc. Yeah, so we trying to seek and tell the truth and accept all consequences that come with that, which we know there are consequences, because people who want to hide the truth are definitely not excited when you expose it. So you definitely going to take some setbacks and suffer some losses, but those are setbacks and losses well gained and well earned. That's going to help you grow as an individual. And not only that, you'll be able to separate yourself from the liars, from the misleaders. You'll be able to shatter all the illusions, and you'll be able to operate in the fashion you need to advance and grow in the world that we live in.
Well, us as black men in this society over here in the wilderness of North America, our oppressors has kept a lot of stuff hidden from us. And we've been taught many, many lies through our education, through our
miseducation.
Our miseducation. I'm sorry, let me correct myself.
Yeah.
Pardon self. Our miseducation, through our history, his history, science, a lot of stuff. that's vital to us. It's we've been misled, and we have to dig deep to find the truth. And when we do find this truth, we must share it amongst each other, share it amongst our allies, our brothers out here, so that way they can have it and they can share it. You know what I'm saying? Pass it along. It's like, when you was a kid growing up playing telephone, you got the little, the cup with the string on it, with the, on the other end is the cup. Yeah, we got to keep it going. You know what I'm saying? Now, since we have social media, when you find these truths and uncover all this, the stuff, that's vital for us, that our oppressor, tries their hardest to keep hidden, and when you find it out, you share it amongst your brother, and you make sure they share it. When they understand it, you know what I'm saying, you keep it going. That's our duty.
That is what you call to do, man. And yeah, if you are dead set on getting a whole lot of financial rewards, then this might not be for you.
Financial reward? Well, and the reward is, dignity.
Yeah, the revolutionary, your reward is not necessarily material or financial. That's what you have to realize. But the people who want to shuck and jive, yeah, that's the people who usually see more dollar bills in their hand.
Man, it's your duty to.
So you gotta make that choice.
It's your duty to teach the uncivilized and make the uncivilized civilized. You know what I'm saying? So it's my duty to teach. So financial, man, I'm not looking for no finances in this.
I hope not, because both of our favorite hip hop groups from back in those days was called what? PRT. Poor righteous teachers. It ain't wealthy righteous teachers.
No.
For a reason. Why? Because they teach.
That's in the
teachers in school ain't even making money, bro.
And they were, they were part of the nation of, of gods and earths, and right. and as we being in this nation, we are poor righteous teachers. Once you come into the knowledge of self, and we're teaching, now you're not part of the 85%. You're not part of the 10%.
Right.
So once you come into this knowledge, you start understanding things around you. Like, okay, now you don't even want to be in, certain parts of society. So you eventually, you're going to be poor once you start revealing the truth, and you're not going to be amongst the bloodsuckers of the poor.
No. You won't. Not only will you not be one, you will not tolerate being in their presence.
That's right.
So yeah, but many are called, few are chosen. So yeah, poor righteous teachers calling themselves that. The lyrics that they wrote and spit into microphones, they knew damn well that they was not going to see the revenue of a Fresh Prince. That's a conscious decision, or maybe that's just who they are. Maybe that's who they was put here to do. But yeah, they wasn't going to do no silly party raps, wear silly clothes, and say shit that didn't mean nothing, in order to get the party started and get the cash register ringing.
Well, you got these.
No offense to Will Smith.
You got these men who are leeching off of our art. They didn't know that this art, this music form called hip hop, they didn't know this was gonna blow up like that.
Well, they thought this was gonna be a flash in the pan.
That's right. So around those times, the late '80s, early '90s, young black men are coming out the ghetto telling stories. And a lot around that time had knowledge of self. So, a lot of these white men executives are listening like, what the hell is that? They're teaching, what I'm saying? They're teaching the other black men in society who's listening to these lyrics upliftment.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Teaching them the black man is God. They don't, man. So when these executives hear this, they're like, oh no, we got to put a stop to that. Because if it wasn't no truth in it, then why would you stop it?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's the dude who made the least amount of money doing the thing that was most sorely needed. So how you can counterattack that is you can incentivize a dude from them same communities to come out here and put on big floppy shoes and a fucking red nose and a wig and be a clown.
Yeah.
And you see him getting stacks of money and the dude who's educating getting a little money. So who's more likely to be imitated? People just got their eye on the money, so they get more of that. They giving that more airplay. It's being promoted more, and the other dude is just over here doing what we have to have done. But he definitely is not reaping rewards he could reap if he would make the concession that all the other people seem to be so willing to make.
Let me say this.
Yeah, that, did I listen to some of that? Yes, I did while I was out drinking and having a good time. But that's not the stuff that I really took to heart, man. I took to heart Public Enemy. I took to heart KRS-One. I took to heart X-Clan. Like, that's the stuff that really means something to me this day.
Yes.
A lot of that stuff I listen to, I ain't embarrassed I listened to it because I was that age, it was that time, I was at that party. But that shit really didn't mean nothing looking back. It was frivolous, man.
These brothers that around that time, those 80s and early 90s, they was telling stories, street stories. It was philosophies, different philosophy, what they was talking about, a lot of knowledge, wisdom, you know what I'm saying, which brought forth the understanding, of their art that they was creating in these lyrics, you know what I'm saying. They was awakening a lot of minds because other MCs, were coming out the ghetto, dropping these truths, and the main truth, the black man is God. Not only we listening to it in this music, but then as brothers becoming enlightened, we start traveling, and all around the world you start seeing statues of our features. And you see that, you're like, what's going on? What is this?
As we talked about, like
people,
tombs of Egypt.
Tombs of Egypt.
The Sphinx that they defaced.
Wow.
Well,
So so as my people, because a lot of this stuff that we're talking about, they're not teaching this in school. They didn't teach us about the Sphinx. Well, what is the Sphinx? Or it's really called the Hermicat, and it represents man's godly intelligence rising above his animal nature. So as you look at this and you're studying and you see, it has a head of a man and a body of a lion. But the main feature, as you look upon his face, the nose is shot off. Like, man, how this happening?
Oh, it happened because it was not a thin, pointy European
It wasn't
nose.
a thin European nose because Napoleon had marched his army to Egypt. He wanted to find out where he came from. So as he got his answer, he didn't like it. So he
didn't like it at all.
At all. So they shot the nose off the Sphinx because as you see the nose on this great creation, it's the nose of a African man.
And just the hair that you see on a lot of these statues, the paintings inside the tombs. The hair is not long. It does not look like a broom. The hair is
Not at all.
curly. It's short. It's something like this, ain't it? On a whole lot of places.
Of course.
It is.
So
how do you rectify that?
Well, so that would
Other
go,
than just outright lies.
so that goes back to them keeping stuff hidden from us or lying. You know what I'm saying? So it's places of the land of the Neteru, which means the land of the gods. Did they teach you? Did you hear anything about that in school?
I just heard it just now from you.
That's exactly.
And I'm sure a lot of other people heard it just now from you.
Yeah. So
all they wanted to tell us is that we were slaves, man.
Nah.
They told us that we were slaves. Then they told us about Jim Crow, the Civil Rights Movement. Martin and Malcolm's name came up, Rosa Parks. It's the same small, contained, easily repeatable story that has us humble from beginning until now. Like you ain't never do nothing, but we trying to help y'all along.
We've been on this earth
You
for
savages, you dumb, ignorant savages at that. Like we're trying to integrate you into the system and show you the way. Oh, but you've got such a long way to go. You know, like, bruh, that ain't what happened.
So we've been on
Opposite.
by studying and figuring out who you come from and our origin in this universe. We've been on this planet for trillions of years, and we know for a fact that our Caucasian counterparts or our Caucasian brothers haven't been on this planet that long. So.
And everything you need to survive out here in the world, how could they have brought that to us?
Yeah.
If they wasn't here first.
Exactly.
If we didn't know it, they would have showed up and we wouldn't have been here. We would have perished if we had no knowledge. You understand? They literally would have been here and been nothing but dead bodies, dry bones on the ground. So I mean, the story just don't hold up. When you do the research, like what they're telling you, what they want you to believe, what they want you to swallow, it can't happen. Like this ain't edible.
Nope. So
under interrogation, they're gonna crack. That's why I don't want to talk about this shit.
So the truth is always gonna be able to stand on its own too.
That's it.
And stand alone and shine
and set you free.
And set you free. So
you know what's what. You know who you are, where you come from, where you going. A man can lie to you, but he's wasting his time doing that.
That's
It'll
right.
have no effect on you.
Knowledge is infinite. So in closing, from Lord Supreme and Jim Crow.
One more thing, brother. I forgot in the next room, if you can hit pause. We forgot to close with the poem last time. We almost forgot this time. But if I can run into the next room and get it.
Go ahead, Jim
right
Crow.
back.
We got you.
Be back. We back, live and direct. Sorry for the interruption. Oh yeah, hey, speaking of the sculptures and the statues and the artwork and the beautiful feeling, get a load of that.
Look at that.
Here's the thinker for real.
That's a beautiful piece.
I know the one they tried to show you.
That's a beautiful
Wood
piece.
carving, man.
That's a beautiful piece. Look at that. You see that, boys and girls? You
That's
see that,
it.
my people?
This is you, man. Embrace this.
Embrace it.
One of the greatest wood carvers came from around this area, Elijah Pierce, man. If anybody wants to check out some of the stuff he did, so you can keep that good, proud feeling.
That's right.
You never should have lost it, but hey, we getting it back.
What we got there, Jim Crow? You about to spit something hot?
Just a little something, man.
Go ahead,
so we can
spit
go
it.
ahead and close the show. These politicians are so full of shit. If they tell any truth at all, it's partial. Painting by numbers and got nerve to call yourself an artist. Lord Supreme, his art, it's martial. Getting fucked over and around every day on your job. People like to call it making a living. The boss ain't no, Jim Crow ain't on that shit. Ass kicking time, I ain't taking, I'm giving. Put your shades on, cuz I'm shining like the sun. I don't mind telling you, I'm proud. Catching a lot of flack from these fluffy motherfuckers. They just mad cause they stuck being a cloud. That's that. That's that.
In closing,
take that with you.
Peace from Lord Supreme and Jim Crow.
Till next time.
That's right.
Next rhyme.
Peace.